Hello and welcome to the Sunday edition of the daily cricket show, Cricket Happenings. And this is your host Ram welcoming you on this particular cricket show. Uh, I'm having some problem with the mic here. I'm sorry, dear friends. I couldn't, you know, do a lot of justice yesterday, as you would all know. Very sorry about that because I was a bit short of time, but I am back here once again. But definitely today is going to be different, so I can tell you that for sure. So, well, as far as today's cricket show is concerned, it's about the South African victory, which was inevitable, I would say. The South African victory coming in a massive victory by South Africa over the Bangladesh to take the series 2-0. It was by an innings and 254 runs that that South Africa actually dumped Bangladesh and won the series. And the man of the moment was none other than Rabada, taking his third 10-wicket haul in Test cricket. In the process, getting 50 wickets for the calendar year and also going past 100 wickets in his Test career. And he was the fifth one to do so, get a 100 fifth South African bowler. So that is something that I wanted to share, and so we'll be talking about that. And as far as Pakistan and Sri Lanka were concerned, well, the pendulum kept on swinging, I would say, but the Sri Lankans did well to force Pakistan to be all out for 262 and took a very big lead of 220 runs. But in their second dig, it's only thanks to the cushion of 220 runs lead that they took. They were at least looking a bit okay with the day with the fourth day coming up. The score read 34 for 5. The Sri Lankans towards the evening night were reduced to 34 for 5 by some excellent bowling from Wahab Riaz, who was all fire and brimstone. And at the other end, it was Mohammad Abbas and Yasir Shah chipping in with one. And that was the story of the day. And then we also have a look at a brief cricket news. But first, let's talk about the South African victory over Bangladesh. And let's see what really happened. So Bangladesh resuming their second innings yesterday with both the batsmen at the crease, the openers Imrul Kais and Soumya Sarkar. And today in the morning, the first wicket was taken. It was all about win.Rabada. Soumya Sarkar was the first victim, caught by du Plessis, or the bowling of Rabada for 3. That was wicket number 1. After that, Mominul Haq, sort of really fished at a delivery from Rabada, and Keshav Maharaj took the catch. He was gone for 11 with 1 boundary. Imrul Kais was the only one who played with a semblance of respectability, as he contributed 32, but also the Bangladeshi batsmen had to really survive some fiery short stuff from both the bowlers, especially Duan Oliver, who definitely has made a mark. He has come in for some heavy praise from his captain, even though his figures won't reflect it. He had only 1 wicket, but what he did was something pretty good. He was very sharp. He was getting that ball to really bounce, and we saw that the Bangladeshi batsmen were really struggling against him. At the other end, Rabada, not only with the short pitch deliveries, also with his very good line that he was bowling, was really getting the batsmen worried. And then finally, the next victim to go was Imrul Kais. After making 32 with 5 boundaries and 1 6, he fell a victim to the bowling of Duan Oliver as he nicked one into the hands of De Kock behind the stumps. So he was gone. Mushfiqur Rahim and Mahmudullah, the experienced blokes in the team, in the absence of Tamim Iqbal, definitely put up a very brief resistance, I would say. And Mushfiqur Rahim was hit on the head, hit on the helmet by a very fiery short delivery from Duan Oliver. The Mushfiqur Rahim was he went on to his haunches and he had to settle down, and then Mushfiqur Rahim decided to play on, and Mushfiqur Rahim was hit by a bouncer. After that, Mushfiqur Rahim fell a victim to the bowling of Parnell. He was LBW bowled Parnell for 26 after being shaken by Duan Oliver with 3 boundaries. After that, Mahmudullah was the highest scorer with 43. with 7 boundaries and 1 six, but definitely that didn't. And Philip Wayo came in and picked up the very important wicket of Liton Das. Liton Das, who really lit up the Bangladeshi first innings with a very, very strokeful knock. This time could not go the distance. He was clean bowled by Philip Wayo for 18 with 4 boundaries. And Philip Wayo also sent back Sabir Rahman on his way for 4 to really put the Bangladeshi innings in a real tangle. And finally, the tail, Tajul Islam, stumps were uprooted by Rabada for 2. Rubail Hussain suffered the same fate to Rabada for 7 with 1 boundary. Mustafizur Rahman was the last to go when the victory bells rang for the South Africans, with Mustafizur Rahman's stumps being knocked off by Philip Wayo to actually help South Africa win the series 2-0. Subhashish Roy was not on 12, dealing in only boundaries. 172 all out, a big victory for South Africa by an innings and 254 runs. And as I said, this was very well done. So South Africa totally dominating the second test, and I had said at the start of my preview too that Bangladesh definitely didn't have, even without Tamim Iqbal, I never gave a chance to Bangladesh. Win.Rabada, 11 overs, 1 minute and 5:30, as I said. He got his 50 wickets for the calendar year, 100 wickets in his career, and also picked up his third 10-wicket haul. 11 overs, 1 minute, 30 runs and 5 wickets, taking the burden of the absence of Dale Steyn in a wonderful manner. Duan Oliver, 11 overs, 1 minute, 1 for 39, came in for some real praise from his captain du Plessis, who spoke a few good words about him, saying that he definitely has taken the chance, and why not? Definitely, he was the most impressive bowler according to me. Kashmir Maharaj, 6 overs, 1 for 30, Owen Parnell, 5 overs, 1 for 31, and Philip Wayo doing a good job, I would say. 9.4 overs, 2 maidens, 36 runs, and 3 wickets. The player of the match going to Win.Rabada, Dean Elgar, who has become the first player in the year 2017 to 1,000 runs in this calendar year, in the year 2017. Very rightly deserved the man of the series. So this is as far as Bangladesh and South Africa is concerned. Now the attention will be shifted over to the day-night test match. We are in day 3, where Pakistan resuming at the overnight total of 61 for no loss. In walk Shan Masood and Sami Aslam. And but there was no runs added today. Shan Masood was the early victim today in the morning when Gamage, who was hunting for his maiden test wicket, got a ball that straightened and jagged in and hit the stumps, and that was Gamage's maiden test wicket. And what a wicket to have there. Shan Masood was walking back to the pavilion, bowled by Gamage for 16 with 1 boundary. Sami Aslam played down the wrong line to a Dilruwan Pereira delivery and was trapped LBW for 39 with 5 fours, with the Pakistan score reading 65 for 2. Azhar Ali was at the crease, joined in by Asad Shafiq. Suranga Lakmal was getting the ball to really talk with his very good line, and one of those deliveries got the better of Asad Shafiq, as Asad Shafiq was caught by Mendes of the bowling of Lakmal for 12 with 2 boundaries. Azhar Ali was the one who was the constant force there, and Azhar Ali was the only one that Pakistan could bank on if at all they wanted to really challenge the Sri Lankan total. But the support was not really forthcoming, barring Haris Sohail. Babar Azam was the next victim. He actually gave a very tame catch. He bunted a catch to Samara Vikrama of the bowling of Herat for 8 with 1 boundary, and thus the score read when Samara Vikrama left the scene. When Asad Shafiq left the scene, or Babar Azam left the scene, the score was 109 for 4. After that, Azhar Ali continued to play in his own stodgy way as Haris Sohail joined him. Now Haris Sohail, one has to really say that this bloke has really shown amazing consistency. This was his 3rd consecutive 50 after making his debut, and that really says a lot about this player as to why he was into the test team. And he really played well. He played some nice strokes too. He also went down the wicket and smacked 2 sixes as well. Azhar Ali was his own set itself, and this was the partnership which really happened to settle matters a bit, I would say. It was a 71-run partnership that started between Azhar Ali and Haris Sohail at the other end. And finally, this was going on. It was nicely chugging along, and then the big wicket was taken by Rangana Herath, the master, as he trapped Azhar Ali LBW for 59 with 6 boundaries. And then Haris Sohail had the company of Sarfaraz Ahmed, the Pakistan captain. But Sarfaraz Ahmed, unfortunately, I have to say that this has not been a good series for him with the bat, as he was caught by Mendes on the bowling of Pereira for 14 with 1 boundary. After that, Mohammad Amir was LBW bowled Herath for 7. And then Haris Sohail, after playing in a masterly way of 56 with 4 fours and 2 sixes, fell a victim to the bowling of Dilruwan Pereira. Yasir Shah briefly indulged himself in launching 2 sixes and 1 boundary in a sweet little knock of 24 before Lakmal actually had his timber rattling. He was gone. Wahab Riaz made 16 with 1 boundary. Gamage getting his second test wicket of his career. He was gone for 16. Mohammad Abbas was not out on 1, and it was all over for the Pakistanis as they were bowled out for 262, thus conceding a lead of a very big lead, I would say, at that 220 runs lead for the Sri Lankans, and they could not have been more happy than that. But in the second day, probably the Pakistani bowlers came up with a real plan. They came up with a real determination. Mohammad Abbas was the one who struck early on in the Sri Lankan innings by giving them a very quick breakthrough, as Kaushal Silva was a victim. As Kaushal Silva was gone, caught by Sarfaraz Ahmed behind the stumps. Or the bowling of Mohammad Abbas with a ball that actually swung away from him, and it was Kaushal Silva the victim. He was gone for 3. That was wicket number 1, which made the score 3 for 1, and then the Centurion Karunaratne fell a victim to the bowling of Wahab Riaz. Wahab Riaz was really breathing fire when he was bowling. One could see that in his body language at all, and Wahab Riaz was the one who forced Karunaratne to actually go and chop a wide delivery which was leaving him, and Karunaratne chopped it on inside just down to his stumps, and that was the end of Karunaratne. Clean bowled by Wahab Riaz for 7 with 1 boundary. So that made Sri Lanka 22 for 2, and Samra Vikrama, the debutant, was also back into the pavilion very quickly. Wahab Riaz was the one who forced Samra Vikrama to go and edge a delivery. In fact, it was a leg side bouncer from Wahab Riaz. Samra Vikrama going on to the hook shot, and in the process getting an edge, Sarfaraz Ahmed snaffling it behind the stumps. He was gone for 13 with 1 boundary. Sonaga Lakmal was sent in as night watchman, but that ploy definitely failed as Yasir Shah trapped Lakmal LBW for 1, and then Dinesh Chandimal walked in, the captain, and Dinesh Chandimal was a victim of the bowling of Wahab Riaz. Another fine delivery from Wahab Riaz, forcing Chandimal to shuffle on, and in the process he was right in front of the stumps. Chandimal was a goner. LBW Wahab Riaz for duck. Wahab Riaz had really hit the top half of the Sri Lankan batting, and the Sri Lankans were reduced to 34 for 5 with only Kushal Mendes not out on 8, and stumps were drawn as soon as Chandimal's wicket was taken, and they will resume on the morrow. But the only solace for Sri Lanka happened to be the 220 runs lead that they took. So that really took the score with that particular cushion that they had. They survived, I would say, and now the score for Sri Lanka with the lead, they are leading by 254 runs, which is still handy to have, and we are going into the 4th day tomorrow on this day-night test match. Mohammad Abbas, 4 overs, 2 minutes, 1 for 6, and Yasir Shah, 7 overs, 1 for 17, but it was all about Wahab Riaz, who was hitting them absolutely in a perfect manner. 3.3 overs, no maiden, 10 runs and 3 wickets, and he was breathing fire. So now tomorrow on the 4th day, it would all be about how well Sri Lanka can play, whether they can change the equation, and really, even if they happen to get, I would say, another 150 odd runs, probably, or 120 runs, they could still have a chance to actually win the series against Pakistan, because Pakistan would have to play on the final day, and who knows, if the pitch cracks, it would be a very difficult scenario for for the Pakistanis. But nevertheless, that's the match situation. And now it only gives me time to have a brief look at some cricket news, if at all there is any. And yesterday, as I said, India actually won the match against Australia, and it was a truncated affair, but in the end, India were the victors. So India taking a 1-0 lead in the 3-match T20 series. The other news I can say is not good from the point of view of Pakistan, and the reasons I say that is that Mohammad Amir is not only he has been ruled out of the one-day series with a shin injury, and shin injury, one would remember, is something can be very, very serious, and it could really keep you out of cricket for quite a long time. The only one thing that I remember when it comes to a shin injury, and also saying that it is which is coming from Pakistan, there was one former great pace bowler from Pakistan, great pace bowler, great all-rounder, great captain, thinking captain, and a very successful captain at that. I'm talking about none other than Imran Khan Niazi, who had to really go away from cricket for quite a long time because of the shin injury. So one does not know what really lies in case of Mohammad Amir's situation. But well, I wish him well. But one remembers that the Imran Khan Niazi, the former Pakistan great fast bowler, was kept out of cricket for quite a long time. He had to take a break from cricket for quite a long time after the shin injury, because as I said, shin injuries can get very, very serious. Well, dear fans, subscribers, it was a real pleasure bringing out this daily cricket show. And also, as I said yesterday, I couldn't do full justice, but today I am back with my full vigor, with time not a constraint. I have belted out my cricket show here. Thanks for your company, and thanks for watching Cricket Happenings. This is your host Ram, signing off this on a Sunday.